So today I was having some kind of conversation and discussion about affirmations, and some way it just has been ringing in my mind about, have you ever noticed how certain words or certain verbs feel so more natural when they are in the present continuous tense versus in the present tense? So today we're not going to talk about grammar specifically, but I wanted just to bring to your awareness today, as we take a pause and reflect together, how the choice of words can really either limit or enhance the space, the progress in the process as we are on our path of healing or as we are on our journey. And this is why I wanted to call this video like the language of becoming, because everything comes from that. The words that we use have a lot to say about the essence of our inner dialogue, of our inner critic, of our inner coach, whatever it is that you want to go there. But it's the power of the words that carry a certain vibration, and how do they carry us throughout our process of healing as we are progressing through is really what makes a difference in our language of being and becoming, and vice versa. Whatever works for you. Okay, let's take an example. Let's say I'm saying I take care of myself right here, versus I am taking care of myself. So you're going to see that in both instances, the intention is the same. I am of taking care, take care. But do you see how it lands differently? You could actually try this with any other word of your own choice, and just take a moment and pause and try to see how does that feel for you. You can actually maybe substitute it with the word heal or forgive or anything that comes in, and then you might see actually in one of it there is more movement than the other. If we take the example, let's say I take care, it almost seems to be a little bit more rigid, or maybe a little bit more restricted when it comes to the potential of growth. If we take it in another way, sometimes it can almost feel like a heavy badge sometimes, or something that I need to stick through. Let's say if we've taken like a commitment, fair enough. I've made up my mind, I've come up with a certain goal, this is the affirmation that I've chosen, fine. Let's say to practice confidence or anything that goes with it, whether it's something related to your interpersonal skills, whether it comes to something about your personal health, well-being, spirituality, whatever it is. And then when we come up with a certain affirmation in there, it helps to affirm that. What is it that we are aspiring to become? Fair enough. But sometimes, haven't you noticed, where it may feel a little difficult or a little heavy in order to keep up with that? Whether it's I take care of myself, okay, I'm gonna do that. But then what happens if sometime there are some certain unforeseen circumstances or any kinds of situation that does not allow us to keep up with what is it that we had set for ourselves? Sometimes it may feel a little heavy. Sometimes that badge can feel a little heavy, or however you want to call that, it can feel a little heavy in there. And it can be easy sometimes to slip into that, what is it that I haven't done? And I'm wearing this, which I said I'm gonna take care of myself, but I haven't today. And then this can feel very heavy because the expectation has not been met. I take care of myself. Have I? No, I haven't. So it very much goes about how we go there. Now, versus if we look about I am taking care of myself, okay? So when we look at it in this way, we are creating a room for expansion of discovering the what does taking care means to me. And that would be a way for us to then explore that concept of self-care, taking care. How would that look like for me? And we try to look at it in every kind of aspect. We try to look a little bit more deeper with the 5W1H question. This is something that I learned in school when we were meant to write about essays, right? Everything is about who that is about, what is it about, why is it, what is it, when is it, how is it. So when we go into that progress, into that I am taking care of myself, you can actually see it's a process, a progress in process, and it's step by step. And then it just helps you to be much more going into detail. How would that actually look like? How would that actually feel like? It contrasting to the badge where I take care of myself. Okay, we got that. Sometimes it can feel like that, okay, but is there any room for something more to, let's say, venture or explore with curiosity, mindfully? I take care of myself, and then, but when I am taking care of myself, we are actually realizing that there are certain things that is required for our own healing. It's the journey in itself that is called taking care. The journey is of self-care. It's not like a destination. The destination is not take care, but the journey, the name of the journey in itself, and sometimes it's never ending. And this is when we go with that I am taking care of myself. It's we get into that dynamic, we get into that state of mind, of awareness, that it's an ongoing journey. And that's why living, experiencing every step of it is what is the choice that we've got of whether it's going to be pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral. And this is what we call quality awareness in mindfulness. Is how you go about this journey as you're realizing that it's a process. I am taking care of myself. So we've taken that. Now we can take other kinds of example now. So it was just about contrasting these, but that doesn't mean you cannot use the present tense in certain situation, right? Because when we are coming up with affirmations with the I am, you're taking a moment to acknowledge who you are already, the potential within you, but realizing because you already are, you have that essence within you, what is it that you can do? And then you expand it. Because I am, I can be. Being to becoming, or whatever works for you. This is from my own, let's say, perspective. Now, let's say if we were to come about with some other examples or some, let's say, other words to illustrate that. So when it comes to the badge aspect, when you will see it, you will know about it, there might be certain words, certain verbs, certain action that may feel a little static when we just say in that way. But when we shift it more into the progressive, the continuous, then it feels more fluid, then it feels there is more movement. So now let's take a few examples. Let's say we say I forgive myself versus I am forgiving myself. So there is some situation where I forgive myself can really be helpful for us to be able to come to an end to a certain chapter. All right, but not every, let's say, source of grief, not every situation is the same. That's why every person's journeying through, working through their feelings and emotion is going to be very different, and we have to honor that path. So when you feel that there is something, is I've done it, all right, and it's done. I've closed that chapter. I've forgiven myself. I have forgiven myself. It's done, right? So then it helps you to move to something next. But sometimes there are certain things that can be a little bit tender. And when we allow ourselves to let's say, to go that this is a journey for me at the moment, I am forgiving myself, you actually hold this as a lantern. Some situation, the badge there, it helps you to see what is the milestone, the chapter, something that you've achieved and now you are there. And then when it comes to the progressive one, the journey one, like the taking care and self-forgiveness sometimes, then it's as a lantern. So this is where you'll be like, I'm still working through it gently, one step at a time, progressively through the process. So it's very much for you to take a moment to look at the scale. How would you weigh that on your scale? Is that something where you feel that it is done with static, or it's helping you to affirm what is, or do you still feel that you are on the unfolding, unraveling, ongoing process of your healing? You can even try to look at it when we say I love myself. All right, so for sometimes that can also be tricky when we say I love myself. So here sometimes it can be like a double-edged sword. All right, when we say okay, I love myself, sometimes it may feel like okay, it's done, there is nothing more to improve, or there is nothing more to go there. But when it's I am loving myself, you get to, let's say, engaging into some small acts of love in progress, and you get to learn yourself more every single day. You get to love yourself even more every single day, right? So that would be in this way. You see, there is no right or wrong way, but it's just about bringing some perspective about how are you working through the power of the words, because there is something that says everything started with a word. If you look at it from spiritual perspective, it's like words carry vibration. Same thing. Same as well when we talk about, let's say, growth. Let's say it's when we take the time to acknowledge that I am growing, you know that it's an unfolding process. Same when it comes to self-care, it's never ending, and you know that it's okay with it. So the main idea here is this is where you embrace the here and now. There will be certain moments where your milestones will be in this, I love myself, or I forgive myself. Because I have forgiven myself, I now am taking care of myself. There is always a bridge between these. That's why the present tense and the present continuous tense is you are creating a way to continue that. There is room for improvement. The same goes wherever you are at when it comes to your healing. Remember, you're never stuck. We are the one that provides some movement in everything that we do. When we talk about taking some inspired action, for instance, we are the one that really gets it moving. It's the same in one of my videos back then. You can look at it in the link below when I talk about the pen that you're choosing to write with. It's still gonna stay a pen. Let's say the pen of love, it's still a concept, but you are the one that can actually make that pen write by you taking that move towards that pen. All right, so something in there which I actually like to come up with something was a little activity. Maybe I will invite you to have a look at today, is try to sit down with a verb. Could be anything. Just do some discovery about it, and add the ing. It's like the present continuous tense with it. Let's say there is something in here about, let's take self-care. Okay, take care, taking care. Taking care, so the taking care of myself, try to look the ing. With the ing, how am I improving in my taking care of myself, in my self-care? How am I nurturing that? And how am I growing through that? could be anything. It could be about rest. It could be about my work. Try with any kind of verb. See what comes up with you. Even when it comes to with eating, if some of you maybe are going into healthy eating, healthy relationship with your nourishment, how am I improving my eating habits? How am I nurturing my eating habits? How am I growing through my eating patterns and my eating habits? Okay, it could be sleep, anything. Just try it. Just give it a go, and you can always tweak it in the way that it actually works for you. So give it a go, right? So that was very much like my intention today. Is anything. It's just being mindful about the words and the verbs that you've been using, because they are the one that are the source of inspired action, but we are the ones that can actually make it moving for us. All right, say move. So if I'm moving, I am moving forward in my life. So again, how am I improving in my movement of moving forward? How am I nurturing every step that I'm taking as I'm moving forward? And how am I growing as I am moving forward? Just give it a go and see what comes up for you. All right? So that is us. That is us for today. I was very happy to have you. And till next time, take care.